Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we will be discussing season 2, episode 8 of the Tangled series called Keeper of the Spire. Now, the episode starts off with Eugene, Cassandra, and Lance listening to Rapunzel's conversation with Adele, the magic, you know, the the woman from the other kingdom that looks like a really cool knight. So she's they are trying to listen to their conversation. Lance is trying to eavesdrop but doing a terrible job. Meanwhile, Adele tells Rapunzel, "You have to follow your destiny." And Rapunzel says, "Well, you've been telling me that ever since I got on this road to follow the black rocks. But but half of the map is missing. So what can we do to find the other half?" So Adele tells her, "You must travel over that mountain," and she points to it, and she says, "Once you travel up the mountain, find the squire that has the other piece of the scroll." So with that, they travel many days and nights to get up that They travel many days and nights to get up that mountain. And when they're finally there, they knock on the door, and then the squire lets them in, and she says her name is Penelope. So, Penelope is, well, she really likes to read, so this episode was actually my favorite one because when you go into the castle, the tower castle where she lives, you see a lot of books. And knowing me that I like to read, this is why I like it, because it looks like one big library inside. So she goes into the library to talk to the squire, and the squire tells her, "Oh, I do have the map, but that's locked up in the secret vault." And she tells them, "Before I show you the secret vault, let me show you magic tricks." So, knowing Cassandra, Cassandra just wants to get right down to business, so she tells her, "Look, we are here for the scroll, and Penelope says, I will show you the scroll after this magic trick." So she shows them the magic trick, and they clap. Well, Rapunzel claps anyway. Let's just say she's not a professional magician, but I do love the fact that Rapunzel clapped for her. That made her feel good. So, after that magic trick, they said, "Okay, when are we gonna see the scroll?" And then she says, "Well, how about another one?" And then she does magic tricks for the past 2 hours, and then it turned into nighttime, and she says, "Well, I'm gonna go to bed." And so, with that, Rapunzel says, "Well, I thought you were gonna take us to go see the scroll." And she says, "Well, the scroll is up that mountain. I don't really have it because it's in the vault in that mountain." Now, I I really respect them for being patient for that long, because if you did magic tricks on me without giving me what I was looking for, if I was in the show, I would just lose my patience right then and there. But Rapunzel, you know her, so she and the others camp outside, and then the next day they go up the mountain to find the scroll, and Penelope is just being a know-it-all and telling them how to say things and telling Rapunzel to hurry up, and um the others get a little annoyed, so they asked Rapunzel, actually when they first get there. They said, "Okay, she's been doing magic tricks for the past 2 hours." When they get Rapunzel out into their little group circle, they say, "Let's just tell her to give us the scroll and go." But Rapunzel wanted to say for one more magic trick. I forgot to tell you guys that. I do apologize. So, when they're up the mountain, they um they they get to a certain trail on the mountain that has poisonous flowers. And Rapunzel realizes this, but Penelope's like, "Oh, they're not poison. I know where I'm going." So they go into the poisonous flowers, and Lance get poison all over him for touching them. And I don't even see how he touched them. If he knew that they were poisoned, he should have walked away or something. Well, they did have that sword, and Rapunzel was blocking the way, but Penelope said she was doing it wrong, so Penelope took the sword and threw it. And by the way, it was Cassandra's sword, and Cassandra got mad. But Eugene and Lance held her back from hurting Penelope. Oh, and Rapunzel did, of course. So, when they finally, finally, finally reached the top of the mountain, it turns out that the building that Penelope was supposed to be taking them to, because she is the squire, she forgot which path to take, and they ran into this red frosh scary beast. I forgot what they call it. They ran into the red scary beast, and it ended up trapping them the whole time. And and I also forgot to tell you guys, before that, Rapunzel actually pulled everybody to the side, and they had another heart to heart. And Rapunzel didn't look angry, but her eyes were doing a twitchy thing. So I think she was getting annoyed, but she didn't want to tell the other girls. but she didn't want to tell the group that she was annoyed with Penelope. So, with that, with Rapunzel being stressed for the once in her life and not going off and holding her temperature down to a low, Lance could see right through it, so she gets to have his Saki. Saki is his stress reliever that he squeezes whenever he's stressed. And he says that it works wonders because every time he squeezes it, he becomes less stressed. So, now that they got that, continuing their journey, climbing up mountain after mountain after mountain to get to the castle where the scroll is held. Oh, and did I tell you that she didn't really have the scroll, even though she said she had the scroll? So, after climbing mountain after mountain, Rapunzel gets so stressed that she breaks the sock, and the beast returned to get them. When they finally make it to the castle where the scroll has been held, and Penelope doesn't really have the key, and we find out her real backstory. She wasn't the squire, keeper of the scroll. She was just a street magician, and the keeper of the scroll found her and took her in as an apprentice until he disappeared. And she doesn't know the right key to open the castle where the scroll has been held. So Rapunzel gets on her and she says, "We've been following you this whole time. We climbed this dangerous mountain and now we're being chased by a red beast. And you are telling me you did not know the right key to open your own castle?" And it turned out that she told her the truth, and the only reason she lied is because she just wanted to feel important. She told her the truth about not being the real squire. So, so everyone cooked up a plan after she told the truth, and it turns out that she cooked up a plan to distract the ferocious beast with her magic trick while while they open the castle door. So they defeat the mm, mm, they defeat the ferocious beast, and then they open the castle door, and finally they get the scroll, and it turns out that the master shows up and he knights Penelope, the keeper of the squire. And we find out that it was all a test, and the ferocious beast that was after them was a pet. And the pet was supposed to lead them to the castle, in which she did. Because they have two pets that are red beasts. and I call them beasts because I forgot the name of the pets. When I was when I was when I was reviewing the show for the video. So, and it turns out that so after they start to leave, it turned out that it was all a test to see if she could handle watching the castle and the map by its and a piece in the map by itself. And Rapunzel actually gets mad and says, "You don't think there was another way to teach her that lesson? Instead of putting us through all of this, she could have learned a different way." And the magician says, "Well, Rapunzel, you're probably right, but I like doing it my way." And so, with that, they all leave. And then, before they leave, Cassandra says, "Well, now that you're a keeper of the squire, may I have my sword back?" And then Penelope says, "Did you check behind you?" And then it turned out that the sword was behind her the whole entire time. Cassandra gets mad and wants to get back at Penelope. And then they all take her away. They all take Cassandra away because Cassandra can see the look on her face and you know that she's mad. So Penelope thinks that she's happy when she goes away, but Eugene tells her when Cassandra makes that angry face, it means get out of here. So, by the fire that night, they finally open the scroll, and let me just say, that container that they had the scroll in was so beautiful. I would have kept that thing. But I don't know what they did with the container, but I just gotta say, it was a beautiful animation purple and pink container with diamonds all over it. And finally, when they open the last piece, all it is with a bunch of fancy writing and a guy with a hoodie. And and everybody says, "Well, this better be worth it." And then when they open it, after everybody says, "Well, this better be one good scroll," because after all we went through. So, when they finally open it, Eugene says, we went through all of that to meet a guy in a hoodie. Why did we go through all of that to meet a guy in a hoodie?" Eugene says, and Rapunzel says, "Well, I don't know why we went why we went through that, Eugene." And Cassandra says, "Who is he?" And then Rapunzel says, "I have no idea, but I got a feeling we're about to find out." And it turned out that Adele was eavesdropping on the whole conversation behind a tree. Now, the only thing I don't get was, how come Adele didn't go with them? But I guess the answer is Rapunzel and her friends must face this journey alone. And that is how the episode ends. Oh, one more thing before I go. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!